And welcome to a video. It's crazy. It's like I haven't uploaded in like a month or something. I'm definitely not uploading this just because I plan to make a video on it later and I need to upload right now. Yep. Technically this isn't a crap post, but still. So, welcome, and today I'm showcasing a custom Five Nights at Freddy's map that I made. It's pretty cool. You may enjoy it. It took a while to build, actually. The pizzeria layout itself isn't that difficult, but the thing that was difficult is redstone, because there's actual functioning redstone in this map. Because this is playable, sort of. This isn't just an aesthetic, it's technically playable, so I'm going to be showing that. So, yeah. So this is what it looks like without the night vision. Oh. So this is the dining room. You have some tables here. One big table, a smaller table flipped on its side. There's a smaller table. Or wait, this one's upside down. This one's on the side. You have just Freddy on the stage. Okay. Here is the backstage, or the part and service room. You have the rest of the animatronics here. You have Bonnie, Chica, and Foxy, which don't look very good, not gonna lie. Here's some boxes with the armor sets in them, in case you wanted to wear the armor. Don't worry about what that is. It's not important. Here's where Pirate's Cove is. This is where Foxy would normally be, but he's in the parts and service room, so he's not back here. Next up, you walk back here. You have the bathrooms. And the male bathroom over here. They're the same thing, so I don't feel like I need to go into the female bathroom. Here's some cabinets. This is the kitchen. You have a smoker to cook the food. Here's your refrigerator. Don't ask why I keep splashing myself with the XP bottle. It's to get rid of all the potion effects that I have, because they make things annoying. So, instead of going into the bathroom there, you could come through here, and here is the arcade. You have a bunch of arcade machines. This one's the only one on. All the other ones don't really work. If you're wondering what the whole XP bottle thing is, even though I just said not to ask, it's because those potion effects I have are permanent, and the only way to get rid of them is by throwing this, and that gets rid of them. It's complicated. I'm not a redstone genius. I just know commands. Okay, we'll get to this later. For right now, this is a ventilation room. I'll get to this when we get to the functionality of the map. For right now, we're just looking around. I mean, I don't know who would be here, but I guess this would be like a private party room. Like, they could bring one of the animatronics in here and have them perform privately. There's the office. We'll get to that. It has a little curtain here. And if you look, this is actually a dark room, so. Okay, next up is the generator room. So here's another hallway. And here's the generator room. So you have these closets that you can hide in. Here's the generator, which we'll still get to later. You got, these are supposed to be piping, these walls. Oh, you have some shelves. It's pretty nice shelves. Okay, the last room before we get to the functionality is up ahead. Also, if I stumble on my words more than usual, it's because I'm sick and I have a I have a cough drop in my mouth right now. I'm not feeling very well. Here's the office. So that's that other room with the curtain. This is, hallway back down there. You have all these indicators, so you can see ventilation. It's on. 100%, 75%, 50%, and 25% power. Here's a little camera monitor. It's smashed. Can't use it. And there's a clock. Here's another pipe. Got a table and a shelf. So now the functional parts. You have this button here. When you press it, light turns on. And you may be thinking, well, what's so special about a light? Why would that be hard to program? I don't know, just do a set block command or whatever. Put some redstone down and it lights up. Because, this is obviously wireless. But you'll see at some point that's not it. If you wait for long enough, you see that you have this power meter that I just talked about. And when you have this light on, you can see the light is on. That actually drains your power meter. You see there, hand unit, 75% power. You see, now that light is turned off because you're no longer at 100% power. You're not at maximum power anymore. You're only at 75% office power left. And you may be wondering, okay, so where's the light that turns on over here? The thing is, all the lights are already on because this isn't a light. This is a fully functioning door. So I actually figured out how to make this from a Cup of Tea EXE, who makes, Minecraft Java videos. He made a tutorial on this exact door. And I made this, which looks like the FNAF 1 door. It's actually his design for doors in the games. He's making all the FNAF games in Minecraft, so if you, for some reason, are watching me, someone with only 300 subscribers, and you're not watching him, he has over 1,000. I don't know why you'd be watching me instead of him, but go watch him, because his maps are way better than whatever I'm doing right now. And as you can see, 50% power. We're at 50% now. So that's kind of bad, right? Well, it actually gets worse. So if I set my personal game mode here to creative, or not creative, I'm already in creative. If I set it to survival, personal game mode, survival. I don't have a bed, I need a bed. I want to respawn here. And don't worry what all this building stuff is for. I'm making something else in the background. I might make a video on it if I have the time. I might make a video on what I'm building. But it's a long project. I mean, I'm just gonna say something else. I'm following a tutorial for a map. A different map that the same person made took me forever to complete. It took me like 3 whole days straight to build, basically. And yeah, I'm working on it I'm working on this new thing on and off, so it's gonna take a longer amount of time. So now that I'm in survival, you see I'm in survival now. If you run over here, this is what I was talking about earlier, the ventilation room. If you press this button, alright, you reset the ventilation. So, okay, so the ventilation's on. That's cool. And you know what, why not, as we come back to the office, how about we press this? Turn that light on. So obviously, command blocks are used here to make it so when you press that button, it actually registers. Because normally you just have a redstone line sticking out of the button, but you can't do that in this style of map, so you have to set up a command block that permanently checks to see if that button has been pressed or not. So you can see we're at 25% power, which, yeah, that's very low. That's not a lot of power. So if you know, we sit here. Heck, let's close the door too. So we should be absolutely safe. Nothing can get in. The door is locked. There's a light in here so no one can break the window without us looking. So we're at 25% power. And you see that it says 0%. So if I go ahead and set myself to creative, you can see that it's dark. And now the ventilation is off. So this is a priority thing. What you want to do when you hear that little note block sound is you run straight over to this button, reset ventilation, press it. That resets the whole ventilation system. See, it's still dark. Still very dark. You see the lights, they're all off. They're completely turned off right now. You see the lights are off. So what you want to do, would you look at that? The lights are on. So this blackstone button here on the generator, every time you click it, there's a 50% chance that it will or will not turn on the power. So, yeah, you want to make sure you keep that power up because, you know, you can get attacked if you're not, you know, in the office. So you want to make sure everything is safe. So before you even run out of power, you run quickly over to the generator room, press the button, and that resets the power. You may have to click it as many times as it requires. I don't know, you could click it 10 times and then it doesn't work. Or you could click it once like I just did and it works first try. It's RNG. I couldn't tell you how it works. Which is saying a lot because I'm literally the one who made it. Like, basically when you press that button, there's a dropper on the other end that shoots out either a non-stackable item or a stackable item. And depending on which item it shoots out, that's depending on whether that chooses whether the power turns back on or not. So if you're listening, you can hear the dinging. As you can see, that light for ventilation is off. So, you may be thinking, well, why would I have to reset the ventilation? Like, can't I just sit in the office and wait? You know, who cares? Who cares if I just sit in the office? Like, this ventilation isn't gonna do anything. I'll just sit in the office the entire time. Well, by sitting in the office, you're basically getting yourself killed. Because that ventilation... So this pizzeria is actually underground, which it explains all the moss. This pizzeria is underground, and you might expect that a pizzeria buried in a sinkhole might not have the best oxygen. Despite the plants, despite the moss everywhere, it's not very fresh. So we have the ventilation system down here to keep you, you know, alive. So if you let that ventilation stay off for long enough, eventually bad things will happen. Obviously, it's on a timer. So your oxygen slowly depletes as that ventilation stays off. And that's what happens. You leave it off for too long, it slash kills you, and you die. So now that that's happened, yeah. So basically, since the guard here would be in survival, and the animatronic would probably be in creative mode, the night guard, if the ventilation stays off for too long, would just basically, when the ventilation stays off for too long, there's a timer that runs down, and when it runs all the way down, it executes a slash kill command on the nearest player, and slash kill only works on people in survival. So anyone who would, the closest player in survival, which would be the night guard, because he's the only player in survival, would just get slash killed and die. So, yeah, that's how that works. So now to get a little sneak peek. So if you break this block, that's the back rooms over there, by the way. This is on the same world that my backrooms videos are made on. This is everything here, and before I do anything, I need to take one of these and put it there. So you just go ahead, put a redstone block on that, and then hit them with that. And now your ventilation is completely reset, and it doesn't run down anymore. Also, when the ventilation is off, this gets put up here to tell you that it's basically to tell you that you're suffocating. And this is the circuit. How it works is when the ventilation goes all the way down. Okay, let me come back to the ventilation. So, whenever you press that ventilation reset button, what happens is this hopper here, slowly all these copper blocks drain out of it into this chest. And once that happens, what it does is it triggers these command blocks. So what that does is what this does, there's three things that it does. First, it sets this block here that I'm standing on to a repeater, and that repeater runs into these note blocks, which is where the dinging comes from. Second of all, it removes this redstone block here that I'm standing on, and the removal of that block, what that does is it turns the ventilation light off in the office. And finally, it sets the little spore blossom flower on this block that I broke earlier. That flower that was here, it sets that. So once that happens, and this only happens once the ventilation is fully depleted, you get this second timer here, which when these copper blocks drain into this chest, it goes through here, and that triggers the slash kill. It's not a slash kill nearest player, it's slash kill all players. And, whoever would be in survival would be the only one that dies. And next up is the power. So here's that system I was talking about. This right here. Whenever the sword is shot into this dropper here, that means the power turns back on. Whenever the oak planks are shot into the dropper, nothing happens. So what you have here is you have these repeaters. This is basically what resets the power. It fills in all of the light blocks. It also does this. It also sets this redstone block to air, so all the lights turn off. And it sets all of the redstone blocks over in the office to air. so that way you have all the lights turned off. Well, actually, it would technically this is the power restart, so what this does is undoes the power. So what this would do is this would actually replace this redstone block and replace those redstone blocks. So that would turn the power back on. But here's the system that turns it off. So basically, this redstone block here gets replaced with air whenever you turn either the light on or close the door. And that drains this hopper. So you can see it has a stack and a half of copper blocks. Once that drains, you get a warning that you're at 75% power, and that turns off the first light for 100%. Then, this hopper will drain until it goes all the way into this chest, and then you get the warning for 50% power, and turns off the light for 75%. Same thing here, when that drains, you get the 25% power warning, and it sets the 50% light to 0, so only the 25% one is glowing. And finally, this is the last one, and when this one drains, it just turns all the lights off. It says 0% power, turns all of the lights off. It turns the power off entirely. Sorry. And yeah, that's how the power works. And finally, which this is what took me so long when making this map, as you might be able to tell, because I didn't give myself enough room. This is the door. Well, one of these is the light, the other one is the door. I couldn't tell you which one is the door. I think it's this one. It might actually be this one. I'm not sure. So I think this one is the door here, and this one is the light. I honestly can't even begin to explain how this works, because my brain hurts thinking about doing this redstone. Like, it was really bad when I had to actually do this redstone. Like, you have no clue. So, basically, just how it works, a simple version. When you press the button, this purple command block detects it, and then it sets the door to this here, the 1 block, then the 2 block, and then the full 3 blocks. And then it plays it in reverse when you press the button again. So it starts at 3 blocks, then goes to 2 blocks, then goes to 1 block, and then goes to fully air, so the door is completely open. Over here, it's basically the same thing for the light. It places, when you press it 1 time, it places a redstone block here, on this block here. And when you press it again, it sets that block to air. So I'm gonna say this is it for this video. It's quite long for just a showcase, so I'm gonna end it here. Make sure to like the video if you enjoyed, and subscribe for more content, because I swear I'm gonna upload soon. I promise. Look, I'll get Zim on, and then I'll make a video on this map where we actually play it. Yeah, so if you want to see that, subscribe. And I'll see all of you in the next video. Goodbye.